Hey guys, Jen here with Serenity Hill. Today is going to be a different kind of Wellness Wednesday. I've got notes that I will refer to often because I would like to not have to spend a super long time editing this. So we're just going to go off of that. Like I said, today is going to be a different kind of Wellness Wednesday. I'm not going to do weigh-in. I'm not going to have a big food talk, but I do have some big changes in my plans moving forward. So I guess I'm going to start with a little backstory. My health has always been something that's been inconsistent. Not just my weight, but my general overall health. When I was, as a young child, I was pretty healthy. I had, my tonsils taken out and occasional things here and there, but generally speaking, I was a very healthy kid. But that pretty much all changed when I turned 10. When I was 10, I started really struggling with pain during my cycles, and I didn't find out till way later what it was, which I'll get to because we're going to go in chronological order here. But when I was 12, I was diagnosed with exercise-induced asthma. Didn't bother me at all in the winter. It was strictly in the summer and the heat and humidity, which is really funny because I'm from Florida. But it never bothered me there until later on. But Illinois just kind of pulled the trigger on it. So 12 years old, I was diagnosed with asthma. Went on some medications for that. Seasonally would be on some steroid inhalers, and then I would have a rescue inhaler as needed. When I was 19, now mind you, I said 10 years old, I started having pain with my cycles. Like severe pain, not normal kind of pain. When I was 19, I finally found a doctor after, I don't even know how many my mom drugged me to, trying to get, it's fly season, trying to get me some help, and a doctor that wasn't saying that I was just trying to get attention or being dramatic or what they say, whatever they say. When I was 19, I finally found a really good doctor, one that listened to me and one that said, hey, you are young, but you do need this surgery and we do need to figure out what's going on. She diagnosed me with after an exploratory laparoscopy with stage 4 endometriosis. If you do not know what endometriosis is, here's your quick little biology lesson. If you do not like this kind of stuff, skip ahead about 15 seconds. Stage 4 endometriosis. So endometriosis is basically your uterus is made up of endometrial tissue. When you have endometriosis, that tissue grows on the outside of your uterus. Typically, it's mostly found around fallopian tubes, your ovaries. It can be just on various parts of your uterus on the outside part of it. You can also have it, in my case, it can distort your organs. Mine basically adhered my intestines to my uterus and twisted. Pulled my fallopian tube back behind my uterus and tilted my uterus. And to this day, it is still there. All sorts of things are all weird in me now because of that. So after multiple therapies and multiple surgeries, we got it to a point where it was under control enough for me to be able to live a life. And then having babies really is the thing that really helped a lot. But I'm getting off track. In my late 20s, I had my primary doctor tell me that he thought that I had fibromyalgia, but didn't really move past with anything. Briefly talked about a medication if I wanted to, but he knew I went the more natural route with things and would prefer not to unless I could not really bear it anymore. In my mid-30s, after I had my daughter, something got triggered. Something started, and it was severe pain, joint pain, really bad brain fog. I still struggle with that a lot. And that same doctor that mentioned fibromyalgia started mentioning autoimmune disease. Did a whole bunch of blood work, and nothing came up positive. Went to another doctor, rheumatologist, and they really couldn't give me an answer except to say they wanted to put me on these really, really bad, nasty drugs that was a hard no for me because I didn't have a diagnosis, and I wasn't gonna go on any drugs that could potentially give me leukemia if I didn't have a concrete answer or it wasn't doing damage to my organs. And at that point in time, it wasn't. I still haven't found a great rheumatologist. I need to, but in this day and age, it's really hard to do, and I really don't want to go doctor hopping and have my husband take the time off of work just for another question. The diagnoses that I have received are now fibromyalgia, I have asthma, I have stage 4 endometriosis. Those are things we do know. And as far as my autoimmune diagnosis, the one that he gave me was non-specified or unspecified spondyloarthritis. Spondyloarthritis is pretty much it's like an inflammatory arthritis in your lower back and your pelvis. It's very painful. And it's really hard to handle because it's your pelvis and your back, and that everything you do stems off of your back and your hips. Now, after all these diagnoses and medications that I did go on, that they wanted me to go on, that only worked half the time, if I was even lucky to get that half time, and everything came down to one thing, and that's inflammation. Everything makes that worse. Endometriosis, you have massive inflammation. Asthma, inflammation. Fibromyalgia, lots of inflammation there, and obviously autoimmune disease. It's your body's response, inflammation. So how that basically is controlled, you have a couple options. One, by modern medicine standards, steroids, lots of them. And then you do that, you risk going into adrenal failure. Now, for some people, that is absolutely necessary, and there are times that I do go on steroids because I need to, because my asthma is an emergent thing. There is a lawnmower going by, so forgive the noise. But when you have asthma struggles, that's an emergent thing, and that's not a, let me change my diet and see how it goes thing. We need a change now. So I go on steroids, massive doses on them, but they're short term. I wean myself off and we move on with life. But they really want me to be on a low dose steroid long term, and I am not okay with that. And because I won't go on those medications, I deal with inflammation coming back. So what it comes down to for me is pretty much food. So that's when I found the AIP diet. AIP is Autoimmune Paleo, and to read the list of foods that you are not allowed to have would make this an incredibly long video. Suffice it to say, you cannot have the vast majority of vegetables, basically anything processed. You can have some vegetables, you can have berries, you can have organic, grass-fed meats. I think there are some meats you can't have though. You cannot have eggs. You cannot have coffee. You cannot have anything in the nightshade family. There are so many things you can't have, but it is not meant to be a permanent diet. It is super hard, super restrictive. I often fail at it when I do go back on it because it's really freaking hard. But you do it to get the inflammation down in your body. But once you get down to more of what your baseline is or what you want it to be, then you start adding foods back one at a time, extremely slowly. You add one food, you give it a week or two. You add another food, you give it a week or two. Because you're trying to find triggers. You're trying to find things that make it worse, that make you flare, that make your body have an inflammatory response. And if you find one of those foods, you back up, you cross that off the list, you reset yourself again, and then you try another food. So that's what I gotta do now. I have to go back on AIP. Let me tell you why. The other day, this was probably 2 days ago, so today is Wednesday. I am filming this the day it's gonna go up. This was probably, Monday. Monday, we had a fine weekend. We had a fine end of last week. I have been feeling inflammation. I've been feeling pain, and it's been getting progressively worse, but when you live at a constant pain all the time, you tend to give it excuses, give it justifications. I overdid it one day. Oh, my diet hasn't been great. I'm dehydrated. I'm exhausted. It's really easy to just kind of make it a background noise, that pain, and not pay attention to it when you need to until your body goes, that's it. We're gonna flare and we're really gonna get your attention. So that's where I'm at now, except this flare is unlike one I have ever had. My abdomen is distended to the point that I look like I am pregnant. That's from endometriosis. I had a pretty nasty asthma attack last night, which is why my voice sounds kind of shaky and weird today, because I'm still on inhalers, emergency inhalers. My body hurts. I've been feeling very weak and just not great today. And I'm sore from head to toe. I'm sore. So we're taking it easy, and it's going to take me a while to get down off of this, probably a couple weeks, but I know that I have to go back on AIP. I'm going to go one meal at a time. I'm going to go one snack at a time. It's incredibly hard. I'm probably going to fail, but like I said, I'm going to go one thing at a time. I have to meal plan long term, but I can't wake up and say, this is how I'm going to eat today, and give myself options and choices. I have to be very specific. And I have to meal prep. And then I'm just gonna go one meal at a time. For breakfast, for snack, and that's the other thing on AIP. I eat a lot more on AIP, like a lot more frequently, because the things that you're eating, not much sticks long. It's very clean eating. It's a very healthy diet. And I know I'm gonna lose weight on it because the whole point of this is to decrease inflammation, and that will reflect on my scale. But I'm not even gonna keep track of it. I'm solely gonna go based on how I feel. And right now, this is one of my favorite shirts. It's super comfy and super just lightweight. It's a great summer shirt. But it is tight around my midsection right now because my stomach is so distended. So I'm gonna go based off of how my shirts fit, how my pants fit. I would like to be able to button a pair of jeans. That'd be nice. But I can't right now. So that's gonna be my judge, how my clothes are fitting and how I'm feeling. I'm not even gonna touch a scale because it's just gonna get discouraging. So I really have to do a lot of research of where I'm gonna be at on the other side of this AIP diet, this time I'm gonna be on that plan. It's likely gonna look something like sugar-free, gluten-free, dairy-free, or very low dairy, completely unprocessed, hard, just very hard. Especially since my family does not eat that way. I mean, I'll adjust them a little, obviously. I'm the one cooking and shopping and doing all of those things, but I won't take them completely off of their normal diet because not totally necessary for them. I would love to move them towards that just because it's great and wonderfully healthy, but it's not necessary for them. And one of my children who has food issues, that would take away a good chunk of his diet. So we're not gonna do that. Moving forward with Wellness Wednesdays, there may be some weeks that I skip them because there's just not much to report. And I really don't wanna just throw up a video for the sake of throwing up a video. I wanna give you guys a good quality video. So if there's really not a solid update, I might just post in the community tab here. So if you don't follow that, just take a peek at that every once in a while. If you don't see a Wellness Wednesday, I might just throw something up there. But I really don't want to just throw up a video for the sake of throwing up a video. That's not entertaining for anybody. So it might get a little weird here. It might definitely different here for a little bit. So if you guys did like this video, different as it was, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. It tells YouTube that you enjoy seeing the videos and that you want to see more of the videos that our channel normally puts out. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button too and the notification bell so you can get notified of new videos we put out, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.